What's a personal rule that you'll never break? Never do anything that you aren't willing to explain to the paramedics. And if you do, please tell the paramedics anyway. Oftentimes people try and hide it out of embarrassment, and it makes it really difficult to help. Worked on an ambulance when I was in the military. Favorite call was Batman. A young Marine came home from deployment and he and his wife decided to have a special night. He handcuffed her to the bed, dressed up as Batman with his batarang hanging out, climbed up on the dresser and jumped her. He hit his head on the headboard, knocking himself unconscious. The neighbors heard her screaming and called the MPs, who called us. We were able to save the costume. Never make an exception of yourself. If you hold other people to a certain standard, then you'd better hold yourself to that same standard. I always double check my behavior before complaining about someone else's. I won't work for family. Money makes it weird. I will help, volunteer, whatever, but Cousin Joe won't be my boss. Extend that to friends. I know someone whose friends worked for them. Friends screwed up the company big time, didn't say anything about it. When it was found out, it was almost too late to fix any of it. They got fired. Now they're trying to get more money than deserved out of the company. Went from friends to hating each other's guts real quick. Don't do it. If someone confides in me and asks me not to gossip about it, I never, ever will. Exactly. If someone confides something in me, I will not tell a single soul. I guess I have my mom to thank for this, as whenever I would tell her anything, she would tell as many people as possible, even when I made her promise to keep it to herself. Whenever I would confide in her, I would end up regretting it soon after. Now I don't bother telling her anything. Trust is something that you can never truly regain once it's lost, and betraying someone like that is something I can't ever imagine doing. Thanks, Mom. Not nearly as serious as anything else on this thread, but when climbing stairs I always start with my right foot and end with my right foot. It began around 3rd grade when I heard the expression of starting and ending the day on the right foot. I took it literally, kind of as a joke. 10 years later and I still do it. Interestingly enough, if I'm upset while climbing the stairs, I cheer up a bit whenever I end on my right foot. Always help out a friend in need. Left your charger upstairs and I'm standing up on it. Need a ride? Yay, I got you, bud. Need to talk? Yay, man, of course. Need a few grand? Well, I'm broke so I can't do that, but I'll help you find a way to save up for it. Never expect someone to be as good to you as you are to them. The moment you do, you will be disappointed in them, and it's hard to come back from that. Never call names or use hurtful language when you're in an argument with a loved one. You can't take back the hurt once you've given it. Try really hard to do the same when in an argument with anyone else. You can cause someone real pain from your words. Pain is relative. I use this phrase for 2 of my rules. When someone is telling you about how horrible a day they are having and it seems like nothing compared to what you're going through, do not tell them that other people have it worse. To them, what they are experiencing is real and it hurts. When someone is telling you about how horrible a day they're having and your problems seem so much smaller than theirs, do not invalidate your own problems. Your pains and struggles are valid and they are real to you. Pain is relative. Edit. Oh my good golly gosh, I went to bed and woke up to Reddit gold. Thank you, kind internet stranger. I'm literally bouncing with joy right now. Dating coworkers. I don't care how many people have made it work. I don't trust myself enough to not mess it up. Take responsibility when you are at fault, no matter the consequences. No one else should have to pay for your mistakes. I got into my first accident that was my fault 2 years ago. I was honestly looking at the wrong light, slightly up ahead a light was green, and ran a red light and hit another car. When the police arrived they asked what happened and I admitted to accidentally running the light, told the other driver I had good insurance and told him not to worry. I couldn't afford the $500 deductible at the time, but I figured it out. Since then, I have been the victim of a hit and run, and the other day someone clearly damaged my car in a parking lot with probably a shopping cart note. It doesn't matter though, I refuse to take on the attitude that because someone did it to me I should do it to someone else. I get mad sometimes because other people being dishonest and me being honest means I get screwed over in every situation, but I won't change. Don't make a promise you can't keep. Don't break promises. The promise has been devalued over the years, and I'm not going to contribute to that. Don't be an asshole to someone just because someone else has made you have a bad day/time. Like, don't lash out at your partner because your boss was a dick. Don't bitch at your friends because you had an argument with your partner. Don't punch your kid in the face and threaten to kill them with an axe because your own mother put you through a lifetime of abuse. Stuff like that. Don't do heroin. Edit, I have gotten a few PMs regarding this. If you want or need to talk about your drug usage or are trying to quit, PM me. I may not be the best support but I will try to be there for you and am willing to talk with you through your struggles. Never, ever, no matter what, take a laxative and sleeping pill at the same time again. No matter how pissed you are, no matter the hurtful things you say to them, don't ever leave them with an angry word. No matter how frustrated or angry I get with my SOs or family, I make sure they know I still love them, but I'm just real heated in that moment. There's kind of a story behind it, but it's mostly the thought that you left someone you love with a bad impression for their final moments. That shit sticks with you. Never cheat. No excuses. When I was younger, 19 or so, thought I had it good with one of my first long-time girlfriends. Turns out she was f***ing her manager, who was a 40-year short, balding, toothless dude with a speed habit. Yeah, work that one out. Anyway, now I'm with an amazing girl but I get paranoid as FCK whenever she goes out with friends or goes back to see her family, and it SCKS because I know nothing is happening but I can't get the thoughts out of my head. Don't f***ing cheat, you ruin someone's trust in their loved ones for a long time. Edit, typos. Edit 2, wow. Thanks for all the responses. It is obvious I am not alone with this and I hope for the very best with your relationships. D, thanks for the kind advice. Edit 3, thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Never strike another living thing out of anger. Ever. I will defend myself, but I will never strike in anger. Man, woman, child, animal. Always be a good and honorable person. Don't force your opinions on others. Romance is about mutual enjoyment, not possession. In memory of a late friend, I keep the rule he followed alive of never discarding a piece of gum without first finding some scrap of paper to wrap it in. I call it the NZ rule. Will never forget you, man. Edit 1, what did I just wake up to? This is kind of humbling, folks. Couldn't have asked for a better outcome to an offhanded comment in my friend's memory. In spite of the times that leave something to be desired, this is what makes Reddit and all its members a profound gift to the world. Thank you all for adopting this small way to keep NZ remembered. Edit 2, for those requesting a pic. Not so much a personal rule but it was told me and I follow it more than anything else. A good deed bragged about is a selfish deed. As a result I do not intentionally mention or brag about a good deed I might do. If I buy someone coffee or give a meal to a homeless person or whatever, I keep it to myself. Edit, grammar and added bold font for special effects. Cheat on a girl I'm with. Growing up, my family was ruined by infidelity. Early on I vowed I'd never do that to someone I'm with. Edit, thanks for the gold whoever you are. If I try to talk to someone once and they don't respond to me, I'll wait a bit and then try once more. If they don't respond to me on the second time, I'll never say another word to them again unless they talk to me. Physical therapist here. A professor of mine always said people first and that has stuck with me to this day. It is not autistic child but child with autism. Not stroke patient but patient who had a stroke. So on and so forth. It sounds gentler and shows that a person is not defined by their disability or disease. Never smoked a cigarette and never will. The following reasoning has taken years of deep thought and deliberation. They're gross. Don't ever, for any reason, do anything, to anyone, for any reason, ever, No matter what, no matter where, or who you are with, or where you are going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever. I am a fan of many sports, but I will never celebrate the injury of a player or players of a team I am rooting against. It is just a game. I've seen this from fans at all levels of sports and it sickens me. Most recently I saw it at a college football game where a player's helmet came off and it was a scary situation as most of the stadium went silent. There were some fans cheering for the injury, especially a husband and wife next to me. I calmly told them that it was not right. These are kids out here playing a game and their health and well-being is paramount to what is simply a game with no real meaning. They changed their minds slightly and said they hoped he was only hurt enough to keep him out of the game and all he needed was a couple of Advil. A couple of cuntberries they were. Never use autistic as an insult. Someone that I went to school with just won the 1,500 meters Paralympic gold medal, and the story behind him is amazing. My favorite way that someone described autism is that imagine everyone as either Windows or Mac. Now there's one guy out there, Linux, who is misunderstood just because he's different. That doesn't mean he's any worse or better than anyone, simply different. I will never, ever, cheat on my wife. I come from a family where every couple cheated. My parents cheated on each other. Uncles and aunts were cheats. Brothers and sisters all cheaters. Cousins. Every damn one. They hurt each other and their partners and kids because they learned that it was okay. So I made a promise. No matter what happens I will always work to make a good husband. I listen to my wife, help where I can, change what I can, explain when I can't. We work as a team and raise our children. I love this woman and I will never marry again. She is my world and I will do anything to keep it safe. I've never eaten a McDonald's hamburger. I've eaten all kinds of burgers in my life but never one from the Golden Arches. It's sort of a weird accomplishment I'm proud of. 3-strike rule. First date I pay. Second, I'll still pay but get worrisome if she doesn't at least offer. Third date if she doesn't treat, I'll make her split the bill and won't call her again.